5 minutes.
Thank you very much, Chairwoman Virginia Fox, and I want to thank the Secretary for your service, and indeed, hey, we want you to be successful. But it really concerns me that the policies of the Biden administration of spend, borrow, tax have resulted in the highest inflation in 40 years, and that makes job creation that much more important, and that's why your position is so critical. And putting that in mind, too, the Biden executive orders, the regulations, the mandates, as cited by Chairwoman Virginia Fox, these destroy jobs. And so this has just got to be addressed. And on the topic of reclassification of independent contractors, and independent contractors are so important in our economy. I was an independent contractor myself in my life, so I know how important it is. The department has received several thousand public interest comments from independent workers raising concerns about the destruction of jobs from the new rule. However, the department chose to ignore many of the comments in the final rule by stating, quote, "The Department of Labor does not believe there will be any job loss from the new rule," end of quote. However, neither the rule nor the background materials produced by the department during the rollout for the final rule provides any backing as to the status of creation or destruction of jobs. What research do you have to support the department's jobs position?
Thank you, Congressman. So since President Biden came to office, we've seen over 15.2 million jobs created in this economy. At the same time, unemployment levels remain below 4% for the longest stretch since the 1970s. We also see real wage gains, especially for low and middle income workers, including gains that outpace inflation, which means that working people
Madam Secretary, the jobs created were ones to be that were actually we're below where we were, but the jobs created were in recovery from the COVID Wuhan virus. And so, I'm particularly interested in independent contractors. Because, hey, these are entry-level jobs, giving people an opportunity, there's been no citing specifically of how this rule affects and justification for what is destroying jobs.
Well, respectfully, sir, we have not only recovered the jobs lost during the pandemic, we've exceeded that number. So the total job gains are not just more than it was when President Biden first came into office, but also it is faster than anybody predicted. And we've been able to do that in a way that doesn't sacrifice the well-being of workers, meaning unemployment has remained low, while labor force participation rate is also at an all-time high across just about every single demographic.
And Madam Secretary, I respectfully disagree. The jobs have not achieved where they were. The achievement of President Donald Trump of the lowest level of unemployment in history for African Americans, for Asian Americans, for women, for young people, has simply not been restored. And by having these new regulations and mandates, it's destroying jobs, destroying opportunities, particularly for entry-level employees. Another issue that's so important are H-2A adverse wage rates that have steadily increased in the last 10 years. And I continue to hear from the agricultural community in the district I represent that it's led to unsustainable and detrimental situation for them. And so what is your response to the agricultural community to say that the H-2A adverse effect wage rates are too costly or unworkable?
Thank you. That's a very important issue, so thank you for giving me a chance to talk about it. This department, we issued a rule about the adverse effect wage rate because the purpose of the H-2A program is to make sure that employers have the workers that they need, but at the same time that workforce does not undermine the working conditions and the job opportunities for US-based workers. The specific question I think you're asking about is our rule about the adverse effect wage rate recognized that there were some occupations in which the wage rate was actually higher, but these were, some of them are heavy-duty operators. They are construction work in agriculture.
I look forward to working with you on that. And I will be another question I want to get to you because my time is up about H-2A. The rules on that make it almost impossible to terminate workers for cause, and some of these people are dangerous. And so putting fellow workers in danger. And so I'll be getting a question to you about the ability to terminate H-2A, so I yield back. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.